Hi, my name is Beverly Bischoff. I am an exercise physiologist and strength and conditioning specialist at Peak Health and Fitness through the University of Utah. And I'd like to thank you all for joining me in this yoga for strength practice. At any point, feel free to make your own modifications as needed or to take a child's pose for some extra recovery. There will be variations for all ability levels, so please feel free to do what feels best for you today. We are going to start laying on our back in child's pose. Feel free to let your feet fall away from the midline, either palms towards the ceiling or wherever they feel comfortable. Really focus on taking slow breaths in through the mouth, expanding the lungs, and either out through the mouth or nose, listening and feeling for what feels best for you today. You can either continue with me or at your own pace. Again, inhaling good control, feeling as if we're stretching the muscles between our ribs, followed by a slow, controlled exhale. Last time, inhaling good control, followed by a smooth exhale as if our lungs are folding. From here, we are going to bring our right knee into chest and left knee into chest. Hugging them in with our arms, feeling the stretch near our lower back and our lumbar spine. You can either remain stationary or rock side to side, massaging the muscles running down your spine. Really listening to whatever feels best for you today. Just a few more breaths here. From here, let's engage the core to keep our knees nice and close to us, letting our arms fall into a T. We're going to continue to warm up by creating circles with our knees, pressing the small of our back into the mat, starting by drawing clockwise circles. And this movement is being manipulated by our core. Go a few more circles. Let's take an inhale as we finish our current circle, drawing our knees towards the chest once again. And let's exhale as we draw our circles in the opposite direction. We're drawing our belly button into spine, pressing the small of our back into the mat, focusing on control with each circle. A few more breaths here, finishing a few more circles. Let's take an inhale as we draw our knees back in towards the chest. Exhaling as we let our feet fall to the mat, knees towards the ceiling. From here, let's exhale as we slowly let our knees fall to the left, shifting our gaze over our right hand. Feeling the stretch in the sides of our torso, our obliques. Once again, let's inhale, engaging the core to bring our knees up to the ceiling, followed by a slow, controlled exhale as we let our knees fall to the right, shifting our gaze over our left hand. Nothing should be painful, mild discomfort at worst. really focusing on our breath. Once again, let's inhale, bringing our knees back up towards the ceiling. Exhaling as we let our feet fall to the mat, knees bent. From here, let's bring our arms from a T to me at each side. From here, we're going to bring our head, neck, and shoulder blades off of the mat, crunching forward. Again, really thinking about drawing our belly button in. From here, we're going to exhale as we sit up. Good control. Exhale, slowly lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Good control. You can either continue with me or at your own pace, exhaling to the top. Inhale, good control to lower. We're bringing our belly button in towards our back the whole time, working not to tense the neck. Inhaling, good control. Let's take a few seconds to lower back down to the mat. Exhaling, coming back up to the top. Let's go 3 more. Inhale, good control. Lowering one vertebrae at a time. Exhaling as we crunch up to meet at the top. Notice how I'm maintaining a lean throughout both parts of the movement. Last time. Exhaling, coming up to meet at the top, belly button in. Inhaling, good control to meet back at the mat. We'll take a second here to breathe. Our knees are still up towards the ceiling, feet flat on the mat. Let's take a deep inhale. Let's take an exhale as we come up to meet at the top, coming to meet on all fours in tabletop position. We're going to warm up our wrists here. We're in neutral spine, gazing down between the hands, shoulders over hands, hips over knees. Our upper body is parallel to the mat. Just like we did earlier with our knee circles, we're going to be creating circles with our upper body, moving at the wrists. Let's start by circles counterclockwise, still gazing down at the ground, maintaining our neutral spine. Notice how my torso, head, and neck are staying pretty much parallel to the mat. Good control with each circle, keeping our core engaged throughout. Let's take an inhale as we finish our current circle at the top, followed by an exhale as we go in the opposite direction. Belly button to spine, moving through the wrists, warming up our wrists and forearms for our practice today. Great job. Let's inhale, finishing our current circle, meeting in tabletop position. And let's take an exhale as we tuck our toes under, pressing our hips up, heels back, downward facing dog. So our A-frame position. Adding a slight bend to our knees if we're unable to extend, or if the stretch in our lower back and into the back of our legs is too intense. Keep that upper body long. Add the bend in the knees if you need. From here, you can either remain stationary or alternate pedaling out your calves. Really focusing on pressing our heel into the mat here. Good control as we shift our weight back and forth. From here, let's exhale as we press our heels into the mat. From here, we're going to hop or step our feet to meet our hands near the front of the mat, meeting in forward fold. We have our hips over our feet, soft knees below, letting our upper body dangle towards the mat. Let's take an inhale, halfway lift to flat back. We have a neutral spine. I'm gazing down towards the mat. Exhaling as we hinge forward towards the ground. From here, let's hop or step our feet back to meet in plank. We have soft elbows beneath our shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, drawing our shoulder blades apart. From here, let's inhale either all the way to the mat or to hover. You can either stay on your toes or on your knees. Inhaling all the way down. Exhaling as we press our chest up, lengthening our spine in up dog or cobra. Let's exhale as we press our hips up, heels back once again, downward facing dog. One more time, let's hop or step our feet to meet our hands near the front of the mat, forward fold. Should be a little closer to the ground now. We're starting to get warm. Let's take that inhale, halfway lift to flat back. Exhaling as we hinge towards the mat. From here, let's hop or step our feet back to meet in plank. Engage in the core. Let's take an exhale as we lower either all the way to the mat or to hover. Elbows tight to our sides. Inhaling as we press our chest away from the mat, meeting in up dog or cobra. Join me again in an exhale as we press our hips up, heels back, downward facing dog. Really focus on pressing your heels towards the mat to lengthen our hamstrings, the muscles in the back of our legs. From here, we're going to go into three-legged dog. Let's make our left foot the base of support below. Let's inhale as we extend our right leg towards the ceiling, nice and long. We have a soft bend in our left knee, reaching as high as we can with our right leg. Let's take an inhale as we draw our right knee in towards the chest as we shift our weight over our hands. Let's work to keep those hips square to the ground here. Continue to breathe. Let's exhale as we extend our right foot up towards the ceiling once again, three-legged dog. From here, let's exhale as we draw our right knee in towards the chest, stepping our foot between the hands. From here, let's pivot our back foot to 45 degrees. Our heels are in line. Our right knee is stacked over our right heel. From here, let's inhale as we reach up towards the ceiling, lunging forward in warrior one. Let's work to keep our chest square to the front, lowering down to a 90-degree angle at our right knee. Just a few breaths here, great work. Let's exhale as we lunge a little bit lower, really engaging our quad on our right side. Maintain that slight arch in our back. From here, let's exhale as we lower our hands down to frame our right foot in front. And let's pivot our back foot to face forward. From here, let's step our right foot back, reaching nice and high, hips up towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. From here, let's inhale as we shift our weight back over the head, lower over our hands, lowering our leg down so it's about parallel to the ground. Just a few breaths here, great work. Working to keep our hips square to the mat. From here, let's bring our right knee in towards the chest and slowly lowering our right knee between the hands, making sure our back knee is turned in towards the mat. Let's untuck our left toes, and you can either remain extended armed or lower down to your forearms in your version of pigeon. From here, let's bring our hands to meet at chest level, elbows back. And let's take an inhale as we come to meet to extended arms. From here, we're going to bring our left leg around, planting both of our feet in front. Knees towards the ceiling. We're going to maintain about a 45-degree angle, lean back. We're drawing that belly button in. Notice how my spine is nice and long here. We're going to be taking a few boat poses, and I'll go through a few variations for that. Variation 1, we're just holding the back of our thighs, maintaining that lean, continuously drawing that belly button in. You can either remain here, balance on your sit bone, holding behind the legs, or work to extend your legs, maintaining that lean in full boat. A few breaths here, great job. Great work. Let's take an inhale to bring our knees in towards the chest, lowering our feet to the mat. From here, we're going to lower our upper body to meet the mat, arms at each side. Our feet are planted nice and close to us, knees towards the ceiling. Let's take an exhale as we engage our glutes and hamstrings, meeting in bridge. The higher the hips, the better. Really engaging our posterior muscles, the muscles running down the back of our body. You can either remain here, or you can work to extend one leg so that your thighs are parallel. Work to keep those hips nice and high. Great job. Let's lower our right foot down to meet the left. Switching sides if you're working to extend one leg at a time. Thighs parallel, hips nice and high. Great work. And let's lower both of our feet to the mat, inhaling as we slowly lower our hips to meet the ground. From here, let's bring our arms to each side, engaging our core, lifting our head, neck, and shoulders off of the mat. And let's exhale as we curl up, coming to meet in tabletop position once again, on our hands and knees, shoulders over hands, hips over knees. From here, let's tuck our toes under, exhaling as we press our hips up, heels back, downward facing dog. Remember to add that bend to your knee if you need the stretch to be a little less intense. Focusing on pressing those heels towards the mat. This time, we're going to make our right foot the base of support below. And let's exhale as we extend our left leg towards the ceiling, three-legged dog. We're reaching as high as we can with our extended left leg. As long as it's off the ground, you're still going to benefit from this position. Let's take an inhale as we draw our left knee in towards the chest, shifting our weight over our hands. And a variation of plank here, great job. Let's work to keep those hips square to the mat. Awesome job. Let's exhale as we press our hips up, reaching nice and high with our left leg, three-legged dog. From here, let's take that inhale as we draw our left knee in towards the chest, stepping our left foot between the hands. From here, let's pivot our back foot to 45 degrees, heels in line, left knee over our heel. Let's take an inhale, reaching up to the ceiling, lunging forward, warrior one. We have a slight arch in our back, working to maintain this warrior one as deep as possible. The closer to 90 we are, the better. Really working to engage the quad on our left side. From here, let's exhale as we lower our hands down to frame our left foot in front. Let's pivot our right toes to face forward once again. And from here, let's step our left foot back, reaching nice and high, three-legged dog. Great job, stay with me. We're going to keep an extended left leg. From here, let's shift our shoulders back over our hands, lowering our left leg so it's parallel to the ground. Let's work to keep those hips square to the ground, long spine below. Once again, let's exhale, reaching our left leg nice and high, three-legged dog. From here, let's inhale as we draw our left knee towards our chest, slowly lowering our knee between our hands near the front of the mat. Let's untuck our back toes, making sure our knee is turned in towards the mat. You can either remain extended armed or lower down to your version of pigeon. From here, let's bring our hands to meet the mat at chest level, inhaling to meet in extended arms. From here, let's bring our right leg around, meeting in a seated position, facing the front. From here, let's work to maintain good posture. Our shoulders are down and back, gazing forward, placing your hands wherever they feel comfortable. From here, let's bring our hands to meet near the small of our back, clasping our fingers. And let's take an exhale as we open our chest and shoulders. Posture's still tall, engaging our core by bringing our belly button in towards our back. You can either remain here or inhaling, letting your head fall back to stretch the front of your neck. Doing what feels best for you today. Let's take an inhale as we bring our head to meet at neutral spine. And let's exhale as we lower our arms down before releasing them from behind us. We're gonna take a few torso twists here. Let's take our left hand to the outside of our right knee. We're starting to open our chest to the right, excuse me. If this isn't enough, you can place your right hand behind you, working to look over your back shoulder. From here, let's inhale as we turn our chest to face the front once again. This time we're gonna open our chest to the left. Let's take our right hand to the outside of our left knee. Again, opening our chest to the left as far as we can. For one little extra stretch, we can place our left hand nice and close behind us, working to gaze over our back shoulder. And let's take an inhale as we bring our chest to face the front of the room. From here, let's plant our feet on the mat once again, knees towards the ceiling. Let's extend our arms out to each side. And let's take an exhale as we slowly lower ourselves to the mat. Good control, one vertebrae at a time. Continuously drawing our belly button in towards our back. From here, let's take an inhale as we let our knees fall away from the midline. In reclined bound angle pose. Letting gravity assist in this stretch. Focusing on your breath. From here, let's inhale as we bring our knees to meet, feet planted on the ground. From here, we're going to extend our legs towards the ceiling, feet flexed, working to make our legs as long as possible. Add a slight bend to the knee if the stretch is a little too intense. Feeling the stretch down the back of our legs and into our lower back. From here, we're going to take an exhale, engaging the core as we slowly lower our legs down, good control, all the way to the mat. Really focus on engaging the core, pressing the small of our back into the ground, good control to the mat. From here, you can let your feet fall away from midline, either palms towards the ceiling or wherever they feel comfortable, meeting in your version of corpse pose. I invite you all to begin to focus your attention back to your breath. Inhaling good control, either through the mouth or nose, feeling the stretch in the muscles between our ribs, followed by a slow, controlled exhale, as if our lungs are folding. I invite you all to set an intention for the rest of your day. Imagining yourself fulfilling that intention. Thinking about how you'll feel moving throughout your day. You may begin to bring your attention back to the room. You can start by wriggling your fingers and toes. And at your own pace, meeting in a seated position, facing the front. I'd like to thank you all for joining me in this practice today. It's very important to take a step away from the craziness in our lives to get some movement in and to reground. I look forward to working with you all in the future and wish you all a great rest of your day. Namaste.